Hello, welcome to the third session of the support reactions. I hope all of you remember what's taught in the last class and the previous one. Types of the supports, types of and the reactions they offer, classification of the beams and the types of the supports, types of the loadings, various types of the loadings. We are all these we have to remember to analyze the beams. In the last session, we also had seen the analysis of the simple problems that to mainly to see how to find the equivalent load of the UDL, UVL, UVL triangular, it may be, or the trapezoidal ones. Okay, so last session, mainly the problems were of the single type of the loading. Only one or the two problems had multiple loadings, the two point loads. Let's see some more problems in this session. Before that, supports and the reactions they offer, because these are very important while drawing the free body diagram of the beams. So the pin or the hinged support, it offers resistance for the linear motion, but it does not offer resistance for the rotation. So the reactions will be only for the linear motion, that is two kinds of reactions. It prohibits both horizontal and the vertical motion. So horizontal and vertical reactions will develop at the hinged support. Roller support, depending upon the type of the position of the roller, it offers only one reaction perpendicular to the line of the contact. It prevents the motion perpendicular to the line of the contact. It not necessarily the vertical movement. It prevents the kinds of motion perpendicular to that line of contact of the roller support. The next is the fixed support. Fixed support offers restriction to all kinds of motions, both linear and rotation. It does not allow the body to move neither horizontally nor vertically. Along with that, it does not allow the body to rotate also. Hence, the fixed support offers three reactions: horizontal direction, vertical direction, and the rotational directions. Okay. So when depending upon the type of the supports, you have to draw the reactions in your free body diagram. So let's solve some problems. Before that, you know the steps involved. First step is to draw the free body diagram, reduce all the distributed loads to their equivalent loads, point loads, convert it into point loads, then apply the conditions of equilibrium. Sigma fx is equal to 0, sigma fy is equal to 0, and the moment about any point sigma m is equal to 0. So by using these equations of equilibrium, we can easily find out the magnitude of the unknown reactions. Let's see some problems. Here, what kind of beam you are seeing? One is on the hinged support, one end. It is the hinge supported at A and the roller supported at B. Determine the reactions developed at the support when the forces shown in the figure are acting. This is the case of the multiple loading. You are seeing the UVL in the form of the triangular loading, one point load and the another inclined load. Observe the diagram carefully, observe the support, and then draw the free body diagram. To draw the free body diagram, you know at the point A, hinged support, how many reactions? Two reactions will develop at the hinged support. At the point B, roller support, one reaction will develop at the roller support. So first draw the free body diagram. Two reactions at the support A, one reaction at the support B, and what you are seeing here, we had seen the UVL triangular loading, but here you are seeing the point load of 45 kilonewton, how it came. The distributed load is converted to point load. This is the UVL given 30 kilonewton per meter spread over a length of 3 meter. It's converted to equivalent point load. How we convert? What is the equivalent point load? That is 45 kilonewton. That is what shown here. So how you get? That is nothing but the area of the triangle, that is half into 30 into 3, that is 45 kilonewton. And where is it positioned? That is very important. From the maximum intensity end, from this is the maximum intensity end, this is zero intensity end. From the maximum intensity end, it acts at a distance of 1/3 of the total span, that is 1/3 of 3, that is 1 meter, you can see here. Or from the zero intensity end, it acts at a distance of 2/3 of 3, that is 2/3 of 3 is 2 meter, that is what represented here. So that is what shown here as the UVL triangular loading is replaced by its point load. Okay, so that while finding the moments, it becomes easier to calculate the moments. Remember, we are applying the conditions of equilibrium. Okay, so this is how the UVL is converted to point load, and it is positioned at 2 meter from the zero intensity end and 1 meter from the maximum intensity end. And what else you are seeing here? We are seeing another 60 kilonewton load, which is inclined load. 40 kilonewton load is the point load, vertical load, but the 60 kilonewton load is also point load, but it is inclined load. Whenever we come across the inclined load, what we supposed to do? We have to resolve it into its components, horizontal and vertical components. Okay, so how you resolve? So here, what is the horizontal component of the 60 kilonewton load? It is inclined at 60 degree. So horizontal component is 60 cos 60. Vertical component is 60 sin 60. Actually, what I had thought, when how to resolve? You have to resolve the force into its components to know the directions properly at the tail end. It is like this, right? The same thing I have shown here. Okay, these two are nothing but this and the vertical load and the horizontal load. Okay, same thing, but I have shown at the point of action as the beam place itself in order to avoid confusion. If I show here, if I show like that, you may then confuse that the horizontal load is acting at for some distance from the beam. It is not. Both are acting at the point of action of the 60 kilonewton load only. Hence, it is shown like this. Okay. So we have drawn the free body diagram. We have converted the UVL into point load. We have resolved the inclined loads into its horizontal and the vertical component, or the X and the Y components. What are the next step? Next step is to apply conditions of equilibrium. So this is the free body diagram what we had drawn. So now once you have resolved the forces into its component forces as the vertical component and the horizontal component, we have to consider these two forces only. You should not consider this inclined force. Okay, we should consider only horizontal and the vertical components. So let's apply the conditions of equilibrium by applying. You can apply any condition first. Sigma fx is equal to 0. How many horizontal forces are there in the beam? One is the horizontal component of the reaction, that is the reaction at point A, Ax, and the other is the horizontal component of the 60 kilonewton, that is 60 cos 60, that is equal to 30 kilonewton. So Ax is acting towards right, so plus Ax, 60 cos 60 is acting towards right, so minus 60 cos 60, that is equal to 0. Okay, so Ax you get it as 30 kilonewton. Let's take the moment of all the forces about the point A. So apply the condition, then moment equilibrium condition, sigma ma is equal to 0. If we want, we can take the moment about the point B also. Okay, so then sigma mb is equal to 0. Here it is taken the moment about the point A. So what are the forces producing moment? Ax and Ay passes through the point A, so does not produce any moment. Next force is the 45, that is clockwise, so plus 45 into 2. Next is the 40 kilonewton, which is at a distance of 2 plus 1 plus 1, that is 4 meter. So plus 40 into 4. Next is the force, the vertical component of the 60 kilonewton, that is 60 sine 60 into 5 or 51.96 into 5. The horizontal component does not produce any moment as it passes through the moment center, isn't it? As it see this horizontal force, if we extend the line of action, it passes through the moment center. Okay, so it does not produce any moment, and the reaction that produces anti-clockwise moment minus RB into the total span. Total span is 6 meter minus RB into 6. So RB is equal to, you get it as 84.97 kilonewton. Next, apply the another condition. Summation of all the vertical forces is equal to 0. So sigma Fy is equal to 0. What are the vertical components? Ay 45 kilonewton, 40 kilonewton, vertical component of the 60 kilonewton, that is 60 sine 60, and the reaction at the end B RB. All the vertical forces you have to consider. So by only unknown is Ay, so we get Ay as 51.99 kilonewton. Okay. Then RB we have found out already 84.97. So AY will be equal to, if you substitute the value of RB in that equation, we get AY as 51.99 kilonewton. So our next is to find the total reaction at A. See here, this is the separate reactions AX and AY. If you combine them, then it is, we can find the total reaction, that is RA. RA is equal to under the root, you know how to find the resultant reaction, that is equal to nothing but under the root sigma h square plus sigma v square or sigma fx square plus sigma fy square. That is what we are applying here. Ra is equal to under the root square of ax square plus ay square. So Ax is 30 kilonewton. Just now we have found out Ay is 51.99 kilonewton. Substitute, we get the total reaction at the end A as 60.02. Not only the reaction, we have to find the angle of inclination, that is theta. So we know that tan theta is Ay by Ax, or theta is equal to tan inverse Ay by Ax. Substitute as Ay as 51.99, Ax as 30. We get theta as 60.01. All these steps, all the three conditions of equilibrium you have to apply. Then find the total reactions wherever you find get the two reactions, that is at the hinged support, and find the angle of inclination too. Okay, so this is how we analyze the beams to find out the unknown support reactions. Hope you have understood. So let's solve some more problems. Determine, the question will be one and the same. Determine the reactions at the support for the loaded beam shown in figure. Here also the beam is one end hinged and the other end roller. First you have to observe the supports, kind of supports. Then you have to observe the loading types. Here we have got one point load, inclined point load 141.4 kilonewton, and the other moment, couple moment is there 100 Newton meter, and the other UDL of 10 Newton per meter. It is for a length of 2 meter, and at the end of the UDL you got the 100 Newton force, point force. So four kinds of loadings are there on the beam. We have to find the support reactions. Observe the diagram. At end A, hinged support, there will be two reactions. At end B, roller support, only one reactions. That's what we have to draw in the free body diagram. And of course, we have to convert the UDL into its point load, equivalent point load. So this is the free body diagram. Two reactions at the hinged support A, one reaction at the roller support B, and what we are seeing here is the 20 Newton. What it is? It is nothing but the equivalent point load of the UDL. UDL of 10 Newton per meter is spread over a length of 2 meter, that is converted into point load. This is the UDL 10 Newton per meter over a length of 2 meters. So its equivalent load is 10 into 2, that is 20 Newton. And where does it act? At the midpoint, that is 2 by 2, that is 1 meter from either end. Okay. So that is what shown in the free body diagram. 10 Newton per meter UDL is replaced by a point load, equivalent point load, that is 10 into 2, 20 Newton. So next is the, what we are seeing, another is the inclined load 141.4 Newton. So we have to convert, we have to take the components of that inclined load. Yes, what are the components of the inclined load? So that is 141.4 cos 45 and 141.4 sin 45. Both would be around 100, actually 99.99 Newton you get. So we can approximate it to 100 Newton. Okay. So replace all the forces by their equivalent or the components and show the other forces as it is. 100 Newton meter couple is there, 100 Newton force point load is there. Show all the forces along with the support reactions. This is the free body diagram. So please observe here and in the previous problem. Then coming problems, I am not showing in detail how we are converting the UDL or UVL into equivalent point loads. I am directly writing it on the free. I am directly showing the free body diagram. Okay. So this is our free body diagram. Let's apply the condition. First condition, sigma fx is equal to 0. What are the horizontal forces? Ax and the horizontal component of 141.4. That's all. So Ax minus 141.4 cos 45 is equal to 0. So Ax is equal to 100 Newton. Next, apply, take the moment. As I told, you can take the moment about the end A or end B, it doesn't matter. If we take the moment about the end A, we get RB. If we take the moment about the end B, we get AY, that is the vertical component at the end A. Okay. So AX and AY anyway does not produce any moment. The horizontal component of 141.4 cos 45 is not producing moment as it passes through the point A. Vertical component 141.4 sin 45 produces the moment. What is the moment of that? 141.4 into sin 45 into 2 meter. That is the distance from the A. Next is the 100 Newton meter. 100 Newton meter is already a moment that you have to consider, you must consider while applying the moment equilibrium condition. That is, while taking the moment of all the forces, you have to substitute the 100 Newton force as it is. Don't go to multiply the moment again by the distance. It becomes Newton meter square. So keep the moment as it is, don't multiply it by the distance. Yes, of course, it is shown here at a distance of 4 meter, right? But don't multiply this moment by the distance. Moment is the moment itself, that is 100 Newton meter. Substitute it as it is, and the next force producing the moment is the equivalent load of the UDL, that is 10 into 220 Newton. It is at a distance of 5 meter, 20 into 5, and next is the 100 Newton force producing the moment, that is at a distance of 6 meter, 100 into 6. Next is the RB, reaction at B is producing moment, that is RB into 8. 141.4 into sine 45 into 2 plus 100. 100 is already moment. You have to write as it is. Don't multiply by the distance. You can see here it is written as it is. No distance should be multiplied with the moment. Then 20 into 5 minus 100 into C is 6 plus RB into 8 is equal to 0. So only unknown here is RB. We get RB as 100 Newton. Next is the remaining condition. Sigma Fy is equal to 0. Apply that. What are the vertical components? AY. vertical component of the 141.4 Newton, that is 141.4 sine 45, and the 20 Newton and the 100 Newton. Don't consider the moment here. We are considering only the vertical loadings. So you should not consider the moment while finding the summation of the either the horizontal forces or the vertical forces. Only vertical and the we are finding here the summation of the vertical forces. So only vertical forces you should consider, not the moment. So 141.4 sine 45 AY, of course, and the 20 Newton force and the 100 Newton force. Of course, the next is RB. So consider all the vertical forces according to the sign conventions. So only unknown, or substitute RB as 100. Only unknown is AY. So we get AY as 120 Newton. So we have applied all the conditions. We have found out RB, AX and AY. So in order to reduce the two forces at the point A to single load, we have to apply the equation. RA is equal to under the root AX square plus AY square. So we know AX 100 Newton, AY 120 Newton. Substitute. We get RA as 156.2 Newton. And what is its angle of inclination? So theta A is equal to tan inverse AY by AX. AY is 120, AX is 100. Substitute, we get theta as 50.19. These are the simple steps, simple problems. You should know how to find the moments. You should know how to find the equivalent loads. While writing the moments, substitute the proper distances. Be careful. If the couple moment is given, it should be substituted while applying the condition of moment equilibrium condition. So don't multiply the moment by the distance. If you keep all this in mind, it is very easy to find the support reactions. Let's go to the next problem. Yes, look at the beam. So here we are seeing two loads on the beam, one inclined load and the UDL of 50 kilonewton per meter. More interesting is the supports. Yes, the support A is the hinged support, but what we are seeing at the support B, it is, yes, of course, the roller support, but the roller support is placed on an inclined plane. That's what I was saying. Roller support offers the reaction, not just the vertical reaction. The reaction would be perpendicular to the line of contact. Okay. So here the roller support is resting on an inclined plane of the slope given as 1 by 2. So here what we have to do, we have to find the inclination of the plane, that is tan inverse 1 by 2, 26.51. So the reaction would be perpendicular to this plane. Okay. So what would be the angle of inclination of the reaction? It would be 90 minus 26.51, that you get, I think, 63.46 something. And reaction or tan inverse 2 by 1, same answer you get. So the reaction you have to show perpendicular to the line of action, not the vertical reaction. Please keep that in mind. Whenever the inclined support resting on an inclined plane is given, you have to show the reaction perpendicular to that line of contact. Yes, of course, the UDL is there. What is the equivalent point load of UDL? That is 50 into 3, 150 kilonewton. That acts at a distance of 1.5 meter from either side. Yes, of course, we have to resolve the 100 kilonewton force into its component forces. Okay. So The next step is to draw the free body diagram. While drawing the free body diagram, you have to keep all this in mind. Two reactions at the end A because it is hinged support, but at the end B, not just the vertical reaction, it is the reaction as shown here, that is perpendicular to the line of contact. Okay, that we have to keep in mind. So first step is to draw the free body diagram. That is what shown here. Two reactions at the end A. The inclined reactions at the end B. Since it is inclined, it is resolved into its two components that I will come into later. And the equivalent load of the UDL, that is 150 into 3, that is 150, acts at the center point of 3 meter, 1.5 meter on either side. So the roller reaction of the roller, not the roller support, reaction would be perpendicular to the line of contact. That would be either tan inverse 2 by 1, that is 63.43, or 90 minus what we have already found out, theta 26.56 something. So we get the angle as 63.43. Whenever we come across the inclined forces, resolve it into its components. Okay, RB and RB cos and 63.43 and RB sin 63.43. Yes, of course, we have to resolve this force also into its components. I haven't shown here. So how would be the resolution? Horizontal component will be acting towards right and the vertical components would be acting downward. Okay, this is 100 sin 45 and the horizontal component would be 100 cos 45. Okay, so see the while applying the conditions of equilibrium, it is not mandatory that you have to go first apply sigma h is equal to 0, next sigma v is equal to 0, or sigma m is equal to 0. It's not mandatory to go in particular order. We can apply whichever is suitable for us. Since here RB also has the horizontal component, so let's apply first, find out RB. How to find out RB? By applying condition, taking the moments about any point as equal to 0. So let's apply the condition sigma MA is equal to 0. What are the forces producing the moment? AX and AY does not produce the moment, as well as this horizontal component 100 cos 45, that also does not produce any moment. These two forces does not produce any moment as they are passing through the moment center, and the RB cos 63.43 also does not produce any moment because they all pass through the point A. So what are the forces producing the moment? 100 sin 45, yes, it is at a distance of 1 meter, 100 sin 45 into 1. Next is the force 150, only two forces, external forces, 150 into 3.5. Next is the vertical component of RB, that is RP sin 63.45 into 5. So these are all the moments. So when we find the moments, it is easier to find the reaction RB when we apply this condition. Let me erase this all. Okay, so we get RB as 133.21, as we know the angle of inclination 63.43. Next, apply the condition sigma fx is equal to 0. What are the horizontal forces? Three horizontal forces, right? One is AX, and there is the horizontal component of 100 kilonewton, and there is the horizontal component of RB. AX acting towards right plus AX 100 kilonewton horizontal component also acts towards right, so plus 100 cos 45 minus RB cos 63.43, that is equal to 0. RB we have already found out, only unknown is AX, so find out AX, we get it as minus 11.127 kilonewton. Okay, and next is the next condition, sigma Fy is equal to 0. Find out the summation of all the vertical forces, that is AY 100 sine 45, 150 and RB sine 63.43. Add according to the sign conventions. Upward forces positive, downward forces negative. So we get AY as 101.57 kilonewton. Next is finding RA. RA is under the root A1 x square plus AY square. Substitute AX as 11.127 and AY as 101.57. We get RA as 102.18 kilonewton. Next is to find the angle. All the steps are similar. Okay. So if you know how to resolve it, how to find the moments, if you master in that, finding the support reactions are very simple. So theta is tan inverse AY by AX. Substitute the value of AY and AX. Find out theta of, this is the angle of inclination of RA. This is RA. Combination of AX and AY is the single load. We are combining the two load AX and AY into single load RA. Okay. So let's move on to the next problem. Yes, what's the special in this problem? We have seen the UVL, we have seen the moment problem already solved. Then what is the difference in this problem? Before jumping into answer, please observe the given diagram properly. So note down the important points, what we are seeing. Yes, the support A and the support E. Support E is roller support A is hinged support, of course. But what we are seeing is there is the span EF. Support E is not the support at the end of the span. What is that EF? What kind of beam is this? This is nothing but if the beam is projected beyond the support, it is called as overhanging beam. This is an example of overhanging beam. First you have to note down that. Okay, yes, of course, two reactions at end A, one reaction at end E. We have to, in the free body diagram, we have to convert the UVL into equivalent point load. 20 kilonewton meter moment is there, 20 kilonewton inclined load is there, 30 kilonewton point load is there. Interesting is this is the overhanging span. A span of 1.5 meter is projected beyond the support E. So if we draw the free body diagram, see two reactions are shown at end A. One reaction at the roller support. See the reaction. Reaction is not at the end support, end of the beam F. It is at the supported end, that is at E. Reactions you have to show only at the supports. See, NDF is free end. There is no support. And yes, of course, the UVL of 10 kilonewton per meter of maximum intensity is converted into point load. How you convert? That is nothing but the area of the triangle, 10 into half into 10 into 1.5. That is 15 by 2. That is 7.5 kilonewton. Area of the triangle, half into 10 into 1.5. Yes, moment is there. You have to observe, keep in mind the support reactions. Don't show the support reactions at the free end. There is no support here. Support reaction always should be shown at the supported ends. Supports are at the ends A as well as at the end E. So supports are shown, support reactions are shown at end A and end E. Okay, there is no support reaction at the free end. So while taking the moments also, while applying the moment equilibrium condition, we are applying the moment equilibrium condition to find out the unknown reaction. Okay, so while taking the moment equilibrium conditions, don't take the moment about the free end. What happens if we take the moment about the free end? Suppose if I apply the condition sigma mf is equal to 0. We are applying the moment equilibrium conditions such that one of the support reaction is eliminated. If we take the moment about the NDA, what happens? AX and AY does not produces any moment, right? So two moments we are unknowns. They are unknowns. We are eliminating those. So if we take the moment about the end E also, RE does not produces any moment. So you can, yes, of course, AY produces the moment, but RE does not produce the moment about the NDA as the reaction passes through the moment center. But what happens if we take the moment about the end F? AY also produce the moment here. Ry also produce the moment. So don't take the moment about the free end. You have to keep that in mind. We have to take the moment only about the supported ends, not about the free ends. So next step is to apply the conditions of equilibrium, taking the moment of all the forces about the NDA. What are the forces producing the moment? The horizontal component of the 20 kilonewton force attacks towards right, that is 20 cos 45, does not produce any moment as it passes through the moment center. This does not produce any moment. Yes, of course, AX does not produce any moment. AY does not produce any moment as they passes through the moment center. A, right? So these three forces does not produce any moment. So what are the forces producing moment? The vertical component that acts downwards, right? So that is 20 sine 45. It is at a distance of 1 meter. 20 sine 45 into 1. Yes, of course, the couple moment is here. You have to directly write down as 20 kilonewton meter. Don't multiply the moment by the distance. It is already moment and we are adding the, we are find sigma m means summation of all the moments. So 20 sine 45 into 1 is the moment of the 20 vertical component of the 20 kilonewton force. What is the moment of the 20 kilonewton meter? It is already the moment. So don't multiply it by the distance. Next is the 30 kilonewton force. It is at a distance of 1 plus 1 plus 1, 3 meter. Next is the moment of the RB, that is RB into 4 meter, right? Next is the moment of the 7.5 kilonewton force, that is at a distance of S 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, 4.5 meters. 7.5 into 4.5 meters. So that is the moments of all the forces. So write down the moments. Be careful. It is the common mistake students commit, writing the, because the distance is mentioned here. See here, the 20 kilonewton force is shown at a distance of 2 meters. So this is the common mistake students commit, that they write it as 20 into 2. So please don't make those mistakes. It is already moment. So moment you have to write down as it is. What is the moment? 20 sine 45 into 1 minus 20, that is the moment itself. So no distance, minus 30 into 3, that is the moment of the point load. Next is the RB. If you go from one line, then you are not going to miss any of the loads. RB is at a distance of 4, RB into 4 minus 7.5 into 4.5. We get only unknown is RE. So we get RE as 39.47 kilonewton. Next, apply the next condition. Sigma Fx is equal to 0. Horizontal forces Ax, the horizontal component of the 20 kilonewton. So only two horizontal forces, Ax minus 20 cos 45, that is equal to 0. So Ax is 14.14 kilonewton. So next, apply the next condition. Sigma Fy is equal to 0. What are the vertical forces? Ay, vertical component of the 20 kilonewton force, that is 20 sine 45, 30, and Re is of co and 7.5. Don't consider the moment. It is not the vertical force. So Ay 20 sine 45 minus 30 plus Re minus 7.5 is equal to 0. Only unknown is Ay. Re we have already found out. Substitute and we get Ay as 12.17 kilonewton. So the next step is combining Ay and Ax. Ra is equal to under the root of Ax square plus Ay square. Substitute the value of Ax and Ay. We get Ra as 18.66 kilonewton. Next is finding the angle of inclination of Ra. Theta A is equal to tan inverse Ay by Ax. So substitute Ay and Ax value. We get theta as 40.72. Okay. This is how we solve the overhanging beam also. Okay. So next is the another overhanging beam. Determine the support reactions. One point load is acting at the free end of the overhanging portion. End A, again the left hand support is the hinged, right hand support is the roller. UDL of 1 kilonewton per meter over a length of 4 meter is acting. 6 kilonewton incline point load is acting. We have to find the support reactions. Observe the diagram. So draw the free body diagram. Convert the UDL. UDL is 1 kilonewton per meter intensity. for a span of 4 meters. So 1 into 4 point load, equivalent point load is 4 kilonewton. Two reactions at the left hand support AX and AY because it is hinged support. One reaction at the roller support RB, that is RB vertical, perpendicular to the line of contact. Line of contact is horizontal, so the reaction would be vertical. And all the three forces, 6 kilonewton inclined force. Of course, we have to resolve it into its components. 6 cos 30 acting towards right and the 6 sin 30 downwards. Okay. So, and the point load at the free end. Apply the condition sigma MA is equal to 0, again AX and AY and the horizontal component of the 6 kilonewton passes through the point A, so does not produce any moment. Vertical component of 6 kilonewton, 6 sin 30 produces the moment, that is 6 sin 30 into 2, and this 4 kilonewton which is at a distance of 6 meter, so the moment is 4 into 6, and this RB into 8, right, and this 3 kilonewton 3 into 9. These are all the moments. Find the summation according to their sign convention. 6 sin 30 into 2, that is the moment of the vertical component of the 6 kilonewton for inclined force, and the moment of the UDL 4 into 6, and the moment of the reaction RB into 8, and the moment of the force 3 kilonewton 3 into 9. So we get RB as 7.125 kilonewton. Next is apply the another condition sigma fx is equal to 0. So horizontal forces, two horizontal forces Ax and the horizontal component of 6 kilonewton that also acts towards right. So Ax plus 6 cos 30 is equal to 0. So Ax is equal to minus 5.196. What do you mean by minus 5.196? That means Ax is not acting towards left, sorry, right. Ax is not acting towards right, it is acting towards left, like this. Okay. Assume direction of Ax is wrong, that is acting towards left. We assume that it is acting towards right, but it is acting towards left. Okay. So next is the another condition, sigma Fy is equal to 0. Vertical forces Ay, the vertical component of the 6 kilonewton force, 6 sin 30, 4, Rb and 3. All the forces you have to write down. Rb we have just now we have found out. So substitute that value. Only unknown is the vertical reaction at point A, Ay. So we get Ay as 2.875 kilonewton. Okay. So next is combining these two forces to get the reaction, single reaction. Combining the two forces, we get the single reaction, that is Ra. How to find out Ra? Okay, so applying Ra is equal to under the root Ax square plus Ay square. We know Ax 5.196, Ay 2.875. Substitute. We get Ra. Next is to find the angle of inclination. Theta. Theta is tan inverse Ax by Ay. Substitute the value of AX and AY. AY is 2.875. AX is 5.196. Substitute properly. So we get theta as 28.976. So this is how we find the unknown reactions. So only thing is in the overhanging problem, if you take care that you are taking the moment about the only supported ends, then the rest are similar to the previous problems. So find out the support reactions. This is how we find the support reactions. So several examples are shown. Steps are similar, only the kinds of loads are different. So practice these problems. Down this assignment problem similar to the problems what is solved already. Simply supported beam, three loads 50 kilonewton, 40 kilonewton and 10 kilonewton per meter UDL is acting. Simply supported reactions would be the same, only one vertical reaction. Reactions are already shown in the diagram actually. So find out the support reactions RA and RB. Yes, next is the inclined support is given. Several loads UDL, point load and the 30 kilonewton point loads are acting. We have solved similar type of problem. Solve this also. Inclination of the plane on which the roller support is resting is given as 30 degree. So what would be the inclination of the reaction? 90 minus 30, that is 60 degree. Please keep that in mind. Find out the total or the equivalent point load of the UDL of intensity 25 kilonewton per meter. It is for a length of 2 meters, so it would be 25 into 2. Resolve the 40 kilonewton inclined load into its components, horizontal and vertical components. Okay, that's all for today's session. I hope all of you are studying regularly. So solve all the problems shown in your notebooks and complete the assignment. I am seeing that most of you are not watching these videos. Some of the steps, some of the explanations are explained in this video. Only around 50% of you are watching, not sometimes even not that much. So I expect all, both the sections to watch, go through these sessions, solve the problems. These are the simplest methods only if you practice, because some of the this one we take it as granted. Please don't take it as granted. Learn how to convert the distributed loads into its equivalent point loads, how to take the moments, what to do if the moments, the couple moment is directly acting on the beam. Those are all you have to observe and practice. Okay, thank you.